guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I have changed my backdrop, people. Everything is changed. I changed my room around, or changed my setup around, just so it was a little bit more like easier to look at and better to look at, as I thought, because I know I like my white background, but I thought, you know what, for you guys, I have a few little pictures up here, like just a little bit of a setup for you guys. I thought, you know what, it might be nice to do that. Change my setup for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the on this. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it. If you don't like it, that's fine, I can change it back. But yeah, I'm thinking for right now it might be nice just to have a little bit of a background. So I hope you guys are well. If you are, great. If you're new here, I would love if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell. So today's video, as you can see from the title, we'll be reviewing and testing the new-ish, I always say new-ish, the Revlon Candid photo ready Candid natural finish anti-pollution foundation and concealer, or the antioxidant concealer. So I was going to get the powder, but I couldn't get hold of it. So if you want to see what my thoughts are on these two bad boys, then please stay watching. So I have tried the concealer before. I did have a photo shoot with Feel Unique not too long ago, and I tried the concealer. It was the wrong shades for me, but I mixed them. I used them for concealer and for a little bit of contour because there was a deeper shade and a lighter shade, so I mixed them to create my shade. This foundation I purchased from Superdrug. You can get it Superdrug, Boots, Feel Unique. Yeah, I think it's new. It retails for $8.99. Oh no, it doesn't. It retails for $9.99, but I think on Superdrug right now it's $8.99, so you can get it for that. I'm not too sure on the concealer. Let me have a look. The concealer is $5.99 and the foundation is $9.99, so you're getting things for about £15–16, which is pretty good. You can get a little bit of a base for about 15 quid, which is normal for drugstore-ish. For the foundation, I picked up the shade 420 Sun Beige, and for the concealer, I picked up 22 Sable or Sand.
The Photo Ready Candid Natural Finish Anti-Pollution Foundation is a skincare-inspired, ultra-blendable, ultra-buildable foundation. The foundation features antioxidants, anti-pollution, and anti-blue light, and best of all, no oils, no synthetic dyes, and no fragrances. This foundation is a medium to buildable coverage with a natural finish, which I like. So features anti-pollution, antioxidant, anti-blue light. A creamy texture that goes on like a moisturiser that blends invisibly to even out skin tone weightlessly. 31 skin tone matching shades. Premium pump packaging, medium buildable coverage, natural finish, keeps the skin feeling moisturised all day. That's the foundation. Now onto the concealer. It says the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Antioxidant Concealer is a skincare-inspired concealer that is ultra blendable, ultra buildable, and creamy coverage. So anti-pollution, antioxidant, anti-blue light ingredients, without oils, suitable for sensitive skin, which wasn't on the foundation, unless I'm wrong. Camouflages under eyes, puffiness, bags, and dark circles. The dough for applicator is perfect for applying to delicate eye area. Medium buildable coverage with a natural finish.
So we're getting more of this summer feel of very moisturised, very lightweight, very natural with a medium coverage. I could do with a little bit of coverage, but I'm happy that I don't have that. So we're just going to go straight in. I'm not going to do swatches for you. I just want to show you. I am always going to have my references down below, so any of my guys and girls that are similar shades to me, I'm an NC25 for a reference, but I have all my foundations underneath. If you want me to do my concealer references, please let me know and I'll be happy to. But yeah, so that's what the packaging looks like of the foundation. The concealer is very, very similar as well. I do like it. I have tried the Revlon is it Superstay? Revlon True, I can't remember what it's called. What's the other Revlon foundation? Well, the other Revlon foundation I have tried, and it was one of the first foundations I've ever tried, and I really did like it. I just think with trends these days, it's not really in fashion anymore, or I don't use it as much because I'm always using new foundations. I don't really go for it. But anywho, that's the shade 420 Sun Beige. So for any of you girls or boys, I don't know if it's going to be a good match, but let me focus you again. Great, so I'm just going to use one pump and see what one pump does. Just going to dot it. It is an okay match. It's not like perfect, but it's okay, I suppose. It's a little bit on the thicker side. Like one pump literally just done that, which isn't much. So I'm just going to dot it onto my face instead. Just going to add a little bit into these areas. I have a feeling I'll like the concealer, but not the foundation. I don't know, maybe it will be. I probably could have gone with a little bit more of a better shade, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to grab my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and we're just going to go in and start to blend it in. So as it says, it's a medium coverage. I'm not expecting anything like great. So this isn't too much of a bad shade for me. I'm not getting the coverage that I'd usually want, but sometimes that's okay. Also, guys, for those that watch me quite frequently, I tried out the It Cosmetics CC cream. I've got a sample. I'm going to do a little review on it. But I quite like it, for those that want to know. Okay, this foundation's thick. Like, you've got to move it quite quickly. It's definitely thick. I'm going to be completely honest, I already, just by how it's applying, it's not really probably going to be for me. It's a little bit on the thicker side. It's weird, like, you don't expect a natural finish foundation with medium coverage to be thick, but it's just not moving great. Like, maybe let's try a sponge, because the brush is not doing this foundation any justice at all. Not a medium coverage. It's not a full, it's more of a light. Like, I can still see my whole skin through it, which is all right, I suppose. But when you don't want a medium, when you don't want a full coverage and you want a medium coverage, you do have this expectation, and I'm just not getting it from this foundation, which is all right because it's £8.99. But at the same time, you can see everything through this. If I just focus it,
you can see my skin through all of it. So there's literally like, there's no coverage here.
Really getting the whole coverage thing, which is all right, I suppose. It's not great, but it's not the worst. Okay, so that's all right. I'm probably just going to leave it like that. I just wanted to say as well, as I'm just letting it sit on my skin feels a bit dehydrated. Like, it doesn't look natural. It's more of a matte, but dry matte. I don't know, like, it's not really sitting on my skin how I'd want it to. It just looks very simple. I feel like I've got no foundation on. That's just completely honest, like, it's blended into nothing. But I'm hoping the concealer is going to do something. So far the foundation is not really for me, but we're going to try the concealer. So the concealer comes with that weird type of doe fit. I quite like the doe fit. I have used this concealer before. Okay, I've just remembered this colour I picked, Sand, was too light for me, and that was the one that I had at the shoot that I done with Feel Unique, and again I picked up the wrong shade. But online this looks so much darker, but we'll just have to deepen it up a little bit. This one's more liquidy and I can feel it's going to have more coverage, so I have hope. But yeah, I'm just applied it to the areas that I'll need coverage. I'll probably go in a bit more. I don't want to spot conceal with this or conceal certain areas because it's so light. I just want to do my under eyes and so forth. So there, we're just going to go in and blend. The colour's not really for me, it's a bit too light. I think what I'm going to do, for some reason, the foundation doesn't work with a brush and the concealer doesn't work with a sponge. I'm going to grab a brush and I'm just going to try and pat this concealer in because I'm just not getting much coverage. I think I remember when I did the shoot, I used a concealer, I used a brush. So we're going to see if this does anything at all. Like, adds any sort of coverage. I hope it does. And then I did go in with a sponge afterwards. But it's weird, you know, when you use new products and you first start using them and you get a first impression from it and you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely full coverage, and then you use it again and it's like, oh, maybe not. I'm thinking maybe because I was in a different lighting, I was in a different whatnot, that I found it to be quite good coverage. But I'm looking at it now and it's just not giving me what Hannah normally likes. Maybe for you guys, that's why I'm not just trying it out on my skin. I'm letting you guys know how it feels and then giving you the idea of it, so then you guys know if you want to purchase it and whatnot. I think for a £5.99 concealer, if you want more of a full coverage, then you're going to go for something like Makeup Revolution Concealer Define or Maybelline Fit Me. But if I just come up and show you, it's not covered my green vein at all. It's very a light, like, I get the medium vibe. Like, I don't even think it's medium. I think it's very light to medium. You could probably build the concealer, but I don't want to because I don't want to look too dry. I think the whole idea of anti-pollution I really like. I was hoping that maybe with an anti-pollution concealer you would have, and foundation, you would have SPF in it, but I'd love to see what an SPF looks like in concealer because I don't really think people have that. The concealer has given me a hydrating vibe, like I look hydrated, but I'm not really feeling it. It's not giving me any coverage, which is okay because I wasn't expecting that, but I don't really like how it's sitting, both of them, on my skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to powder out, I'm going to do the rest of my face, film another video for you guys, then come back to you. So yeah, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I'm back. I've done the rest of my face. Let me be honest, I'm just using a mirror. Besides from like my base, my lips and my eyes, which is from another palette, it's from my previous review, I'm not really a fan of the foundation and concealer. It's all right. Like, I think if you want like extreme coverage or if you're looking for something medium, this foundation and concealer is not a medium coverage. I personally think anyway, like, of your opinion's different to mine. I'm just saying from my personal preference, you guys have seen that my skin is relatively clear. It's not perfect. I do have 3 breakouts on my forehead, but it's relatively clear. Now, it did not cover like any acne scarring that I've got here. You can still see it. It hasn't covered anything. But the good thing is it hasn't accentuated any pores, any dryness. Definitely doesn't feel like I have a foundation on, which is nice, but I wouldn't say it's a natural finish. It has a matte finish to it. Natural finishes to me just look like skin. That's my idea of a matte finish, but for me it is a little bit matte on the drier side, and I haven't set anything. It has like sunk into some fine lines. It's not blurred my pores or anything. I'd love to see. I've had this on for a few hours. It doesn't accentuate my pores, but I can see my pores, if you know what I mean. So it's not doing a great deal of like covering or like blurring, but it didn't claim that, so I'm not gonna say yeah, it hasn't done this because it hasn't claimed to do that. But yeah, I think, do you know what, you can probably get better foundations. If you want more of a coverage, then go for the Maybelline Superstay or Revolution ones. If you want more of a lesser coverage, maybe go for the Revolution Stick Foundation. You can get so many more cheaper than this one, but I preferred, you know, the £12 Revlon foundation, the other one, I can't remember what it's called, Colour Stay, is it Colour Stay? I can't remember. That one is lovely, but obviously I'm not saying it's, oh, it's got no coverage to it, because it claimed to be a medium, but I think it's very much a light to medium, probably buildable, but I didn't like the texture or the consistency of the foundation or concealer. So yeah, the shades I think are pretty good. I haven't looked at the full spectrum. I just think it's depending on where you get it from. I wouldn't advise getting it from Superdrug. If it's on offer, then yeah, because I know you can get it like 2 for $14 or 2 for $12. But if you are getting it from like Boots, and that should be a lot easier, I would recommend getting it from like Boots or Full Unique. So yeah, this is what the foundation and the concealer look like. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've tried it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know if you're going to get it and if you're not going to get it and why you're not going to get it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sticking around if you're here right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye.